Yep, it's that night again. The Force will be with you here at Citizens Bank Park. It's Star Wars night. Friend or foe? Well, you're going to have to decide. Some will make you decide for them. We get set for game number 2 of this series between the Phils and the Toronto Blue Jays. And oh yeah, it's Temple night. The Temple football team is here as well as the Phils wrap up this very brief homestand. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. Well, there's a lot of news that's rolling around Citizens Bank Park. We don't have an update for you as of yet as far as Chase Utley goes. I know everybody's read the reports. They've seen the reports that he's potentially been traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Once we find out anything, if there is anything, we will let you know. We do know, though, he's one of the most popular athletes Philadelphia has ever seen.
Well, he is. He's one of the guys that, the all-time greatest second baseman player for the Phillies. So just stay tuned. Once we find out, we'll let you know what's going on.
All right, let's talk a little baseball. Let's first talk about these Toronto Blue Jays from an offensive standpoint. Josh Donaldson was unbelievable last night. He's been unbelievable this year.
Well, what's very impressive is that he's done this a lot over his last 7 or 8 games. Hit a home run in the first inning on the first pitch. He just has a type of swing where he has the big leg kick. He recognizes the pitch. You think he'd get a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, which Nola threw up high. He crushed it over 450 feet. I'm very impressed the way he gets his leg up and he just recognizes the pitches, drives the ball to right field, left field. The 2 numbers that really stick out to me right here is the RBIs 91 and the runs scored 89. To me, that's the 2 most important areas for a ball player, because you want to see how many runs you can drive in and how many you can score. But when this guy gets up that batter's box, and he absolutely takes the biggest hack until he has 2 strikes.
Yeah.
He's a very smart hitter. He'll back off. He knows how to hit the ball to right field. He knows when he's swinging well. When he's not swinging the bat well, he goes in a wider stance. He cuts his swing down.
Well, tonight the Phillies not only have to deal with him, but they also have to deal with the veteran Mark Burley. Mark Burley is just remarkable with what he's been able to do. Now, taking a look at his numbers against the Phils, 6-2 overall, 3-0 in his last 4 starts, and that includes last year up in Toronto where he just mesmerized the Phillies lineup.
Well, and if you watch these highlights, there's not one pitch that catches much of the plate. He lives on the corners. He knows how to throw the fastball in. He almost reminds me of a Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer and Burley will throw the changeup inside. You hit it 9 miles foul. You keep throwing it in there until you make the adjustment. He adds and subtracts on every pitch. His fastball, curveball, changeup, it does not matter. Last 13 starts, 7-1 with a 2.16 ERA. 10 of those 11 starts, he has gone 7+ innings. So, 1, he knows how to pitch. He doesn't waste any time on the mound. He gets the ball, he throws it. He just knows how to live at the bottom of the strike zone because he doesn't have that overpowering fastball. But now when he comes up in the top of the zone, it looks like it's about 93 miles an hour. He tops out at 83 miles an hour. You're going to see the fastball inside. You're going to see the fastball up. Inside, it does not matter. He'll throw knee-high the whole night.
Well, we'll see if the Phillies can handle him tonight as they try to wrap up this very brief 2-game homestand with the victory. Yep, it's Star Wars night. The Phils and the Blue Jays. It will be Mark Burley on the mound for the Jays, and he'll be opposed by Adam Morgan. Turn. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Deposit Checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. looming. Morgan is heading out to the mound, getting set to throw his warm-up tosses. We wrap up a very quick 2-game homestand between the Phils and the Toronto Blue Jays. So with that, let's get right to the Blue Jays lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Phils. Tulowitzki leads it off at shortstop, then Josh Donaldson and Jose Bautista. Edwin Encarnacion, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Russell Martin hits fifth. Kevin Pillar, an outstanding defender. He's in center field. He'll bat sixth. And the bottom third of Revere, Pennington, and Burley. And they will face left-hander Adam Morgan, who, when you look at his overall numbers, it's remarkable how well he's pitched and that he only has 3 wins. Matt, he's only thrown more than 90 pitches one time in his 9 starts. It's not because he has struggled. It's just because he gets lifted because they need a little offense.
Well, and that's just it. He seems like every time he leaves, he's either down by 1 or to tie a game. And you can see the scouting report. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. Now, he averaged on his fastball 88.6 miles an hour. What impresses me is that, one, he has got the average down, way down versus his slider. The league is hitting $185 versus the slider, and he's using the slider 22% of the time now.
Well, as he finishes up his warm-up tosses, obviously that guy right there has been a big topic of conversation around the city of Philadelphia. We mentioned one of the more popular athletes ever in the city of Philadelphia. And as we mentioned during the outset of the telecast, we don't have any additional information on the reports, the handful of reports, first from Todd Zolecki of Phillies.com about a pending deal. So if we hear anything, we'll let you know. Troy Tulowitzki will lead things off. Tulowitzki hitting just .217 as a Toronto Blue Jay. 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. 1 for 5 in last night's ball game. Pete Macadam said last night that Aaron Nola pitched well. He probably just picked a little bit too much, and Aaron acknowledged that as well. He said it was a learning experience. Let's see if Adam Morgan goes after the Blue Jays. He does, and the first pitch is hit to left. Aaron Altair will play it on a hop, so Tulowitzki's aboard with a leadoff single. The ball gets away, and Darren Ruff is able to track it down. You got clean baseball as part of your keys to the game?
Oh, no. Nissan keys to the game. It's all about pitching today. Slow Burley down. He gets the ball, he throws. He gets the ball, he throws as quick as I talk. And 2, he's like facing a knuckleballer. Get the ball up in the zone. He likes to live at the knees, try to elevate him.
Well, here's Josh Donaldson, who homered in his first at-bat in last night's ball game and in his 4th at bat in last night's game. Takes a change up for a strike. It's 0-1. Last time Morgan faced the Blue Jays, he went 6 innings. He only allowed 2 runs, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. But after that, nothing. Fastball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
It was actually the second pitch of the game, a home run. Then they threw well. The Blue Jays hit very well versus left-handed pitchers. You can understand why they got a powerhouse of right-handers. That's why it's so important to mixing your pitches. We talk about hitting that outside corner, but stand these guys up. None of the guys on Toronto like to be thrown inside, especially inside for a ball.
Talking to Buck Martinez, who does the television for the Blue Jays, the Yankees in that series this past weekend, the way that they were successful was they threw inside. Now, a lot of times, if you don't have good enough stuff and you throw inside, it's going to wind up deep into the seats. 2 balls, 1 strike to Donaldson. Well, last night had one of his 11 3-hit games this year. 3 for 4, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. And they are being extremely careful with him. Nothing is inside to him. Pops it up down the left field line. Altair. I mean, it's a towering shot. Makes the catch and 1 away. You do feel that way, don't you? Toyota Major League Scoreboard, the Twins and the Yankees are a final. The Yankees have won that one 4-3, which means the Blue Jays are a game and a half out right now in the American League East. Orioles are 5.5 out.
Well, you feel that way, especially right now with Donaldson, is when he gets a pitch to hit and he misses it, because he has been swinging the bat so well and such a hot hitter. When he misses it, it's like, whew, he missed one finally.
Jose Bautista 0 for 5 in last night's ball game. He was not pleased with the umpiring.
Never is.
No, he does complain a lot just in the games that we've seen. Vic Carapazza, the third base umpire, behind the plate last night. In the dirt, blocked by Rupp, and it's 1-1. Adam Hamare is behind the plate. Brian Knight's at second. Ron Culpa, the crew chief of this young crew, is over at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball off the third base line. Blanco will give it a look, and it's back. Jose Bautista is representing one of the many pieces of the enemy in Star Wars. I just think it's funny that they've included the visiting team this year in the Star Wars night festivities. Out towards second base, that could be 2. Hernandez gets it to Freddie Galvis in a 4-6-3 double play. That ball was hit so hard they had to wait for Freddie Galvis to get second base. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Middle of the first. Blue Jays nothing, and the Phillies coming up. Practices, getting ready for the upcoming football season. We go to the bottom of the first. Here's the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Hernandez, Blanco, and Herrera, Francoeur, Ruff, and Altair, and then Galvis, Rupp, and Morgan. The reason I'm talking so quickly is because Mark Burley is ready to go, and he has thrown the first pitch outside and high, 1-0. Cesar Hernandez fouls it off Russell Martin. Burley 13-5, 73 strikeouts in 155 innings. And what does that tell you? He is not a strikeout pitcher. He wants contact, and he wants it early.
He wants contact. He wants it early. And you can see the Budweiser report right there. What you see: 82 to 86 mile an hour fastball. You know, a lot of times you say you hit it like you threw it. A lot of weak ground balls and a lot of weak line drives that come off his bat. And the thing about him is he averages 83.9 miles an hour on his fastball. and he throws just under 14 pitches per at bat, so he's pitching to contact.
Now that hasn't deviated much over the years, right? His game plan is basically the same as it was when he came up with the Chicago White Sox. Here's Andres Blanco starting over at third base, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
He has never, I'm sorry, Tom, he has never been on the disabled list in his career.
Well, it's part of the reason why he has 14 straight years of 200 innings or more, and he's on pace for his 15th consecutive season. 14 straight ties him with Phil Niekro, Christy Mathewson, and Greg Maddux. And the Blue Jays winning percentage, minimum of 30 victories. Clemens leads the way, and Burley's on that list. There's a liner out to right, a base hit. Now, I don't know if Andres Blanco tried to do that, but that is what the game plan a lot of times should be against Mark Burley, for the right-handers to go to right field.
Well, this is a pitch that was up in the zone. You can see Russ Martin wants the ball down, the ball out over the plate. It's a nice swing. Yeah, I always thought guys that threw soft were the guys that, well, that's the reason why you got a hit right there. That's a great caution.
Really good look.
He's wearing that tonight in the plane.
Yeah.
I always thought guys that threw soft were guys that you're supposed to try to pull.
You would think, wouldn't you?
Hit it before it sinks.
Odubel takes a strike. It's 0-1. But every time you hear somebody like a Burley or Glavine pitching, they say right-handers go the other way. 288, 6 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Odubel 1 for 3 last night, and he hits that one on the hands out to right field, a base hit. It's bobbled by Bautista. Blanco continues on to third. The throw to third cut off. And the Phillies have first and third with one man down. Second error of the year for Bautista to put Blanco over at third. The only reason he's charged with an error is because Blanco stopped. If he had kept going, even though he bobbled it, they wouldn't have given him an error, but he did stop.
He actually bobbles it twice. He comes in right here, comes up, rolls up his arm right there. Now he bobbles it again. Whoop. And that's the reason why Blanco got to go to third base. Good base running and watches it. Keeps his eye on the ball and the outfielder the whole time.
So a 6-game hitting streak for Odubel. Here's Francoeur. He's up there hacking. 2 for 11 lifetime against Burley, and it's 0-1.
I figure between those two guys, it's going to be a very quick at bat each time they face each other. Hopefully we come out on top. Did you know Frenchie's going to swing at the first pitch?
Fly ball, shallow left field. Revere obviously doesn't have a great arm. Blanco will tag. Revere's under it. Blanco's going to go. The throw to the plate is offline, and Blanco with a great slide gets in with the first run of the night. Phillies don't need a scouting report on Ben Revere's arm. They've seen it the last couple of years, so they took a chance here in the first. Why not?
Well, it's a nice job by Frenchie, by Francoeur, to get a ball in the air. And two, like you said, the scouting report on Ben is better arm in left field than it is in center. But one, this throw is terrible. The reason why is because now Herrera goes to second base. He gets to score in position. That's what you call trying to do too much, coming back to a place where you used to play.
Darren Ruff takes inside, 1-0. Darren on the year, 239, 4 homers, 15 runs batted in, playing against the left-hander. And there's a line drive, base hit it to center field. Herrera's around third, heading home. Pilar's throw to the plate is off the glove of Martin, and Herrera scores. Ruff will go to third base. Burley a little slow to go get it. It's 2-0. Phillies on top. Second error of the night for the Blue Jays.
See, he comes up. Well, a very good defender. Strong throw. It looks like it hits Herrera's leg.
Yeah.
Now goes over. Chase enjoys it.
I just like the fact that Herrera went to second base on the throw from Ben, and all of a sudden you get the base hit.
And here's Aaron Altair, and he lines one into left field. His first major league hit is going to go to the wall. It's going to drive in a run. And Altair will get to second base. It's an RBI double. Keep that baseball. And the Phils are on top 3-0. Well, that's a pretty sweet approach right there. Burley did not want to give up the baseball. He was just dusting off the bottom of the mound. Tucker has it, and that'll be a keepsake.
Great name to have, too. You know, you're going to have that knock, first major league knock versus Mark Burley.
That's a good point. You know, last week, Greg Bird of the Yankees got his first hit against LaTroy Hawkins. Did you see that swing?
Very nice swing. Staying back on a curveball. Not a big old leg kick. Good balance.
Galvis takes a strike. And Greg Bird said, you know, it's great to get your first major league hit, but to get it against somebody like LaTroy Hawkins, I had really never heard that before. That, you know, it's
a true veteran.
A true veteran, one to remember. Good. Ground ball softly to shortstop. Tulowitzki's up with it. And the side is retired, but the Phillies cash in on a few hits and a few errors. And the first major league hit by Aaron Altair. As we go to the second, 3 earned runs for the Phils. They lead it 3-0. Game series. All 4 games scheduled for 7:05. Mets are at first place in the National League East. Always a good rivalry with the Phils. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. Temple night here at Citizens Bank Park.
Texting night.
Texting night also.
Snapchat.
And Star Wars night. Nice folks at Kohl's, sponsor of Star Wars night. Great scene before the ball game. Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca went out to the mound for the first pitch with 2 youngsters. And the youngster was so excited when he threw the strike from about 5 feet away to the Fanatic, as the Fanatic started shaking his hand as if it hurt. Here's Encarnacion. He'll take strike 1.
Biggest Chewbacca that I've ever seen.
Thought the same thing.
He had to be at least 6'12".
I thought maybe he was on stilts or something. Encarnacion, a 15-game hitting streak. He had 1 hit in last night's game, and it was a home run. Lays off, and it's 2-1.
One of those 2 pitches has to be a strike.
If not, Adam Morgan's in trouble.
Yeah, then you might as well go put it on a tee at home plate.
Out to shallow right field. Long run for Francoeur and Ruff. Jeff is there, and he makes the one-handed grab for the first out. He took a peek at Ruff at one point.
I got to believe Darren did not want any part of that fly ball. That's a tough ball to catch for a first baseman.
With one out, Russell Martin's coming up. Martin is 0 for 4 with a walk in last night's game, hitting .244, 15 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Hitless in his last 13 at bats. There's a strike. Murph, what did Adam Morgan learn from his last outing against the Blue Jays?
Well, I think if he learned anything, it's that he can control these guys if he's able to command his fastball and change up speeds, because that's what he was able to do so well the first time around against this lineup. You know, you look at the lineup and you look at Adam Morgan's splits and you think to yourself, well, that's not a very good matchup that benefits the Phillies. But up in Toronto, he went 6 innings, allowed just the 5 hits and the 2 runs, as you guys talked about, and he was very good even against this heavily right-handed lineup that hits for power. You know, he handles lefties very well. He has all season long. They're batting just .200 against them, but the righties have given him trouble. But that day in Toronto, he was able to keep them off balance by doing what he was able to do with his fastball. If he's able to do that tonight, he's going to have success again.
1-2 pitch to Martin, and it's a line drive to right field. Jeff Francoeur is there over a few steps. There are 2 outs. Well, I thought it was interesting what Aaron Nola said last night about facing the Blue Jays. He said that he was trying to spot his pitches, and he said that he just didn't have the command of the fastball that he needed in order to spot those pitches. He said it was a great learning experience. And Adam, as quiet as he is, but so competitive, said that from the last time he faced the Blue Jays, that it was a learning experience. And what Murph is talking about is that he can feed off of that. And so far so good with 2 outs here in the second. Here's Pilar, who takes low.
Well, I think with Nola's comments, that last night he was trying to be too fine.
Too fine, yeah.
He didn't trust his stuff. He didn't believe in his fastball was good enough to get out, even if he missed a spot. And I still believe it's because of the home run that Donaldson hit.
Foul territory off the right field line. Cesar Hernandez makes the catch, and a quick inning for Adam Morgan. 1-2-3 go the Blue Jays. A nice start for the Phillies left-hander as we go to the bottom of the second. In the area, but everything seems to be okay right now as we go to the bottom of the second. It's 3-0 Phillies on top, and we welcome in Joe Jordan from the Phillies front office. Well, Joe, how's everything going?
It's going well. Yeah, it's going well.
It's going well because the Phillies farm teams are playing some pretty good baseball,
right.
So that makes you very happy.
It does. No, it's been a good year. I mean, we've got almost 3 weeks left. We've had a good summer, good season. We just got to keep enough guys healthy and try to finish it right.
It's always the key, isn't it, to keep guys healthy?
It is.
One guy that stands out to me, and we were talking about today, was Andrew Knapp. He's a catcher. A-ball, did okay, hit 262.
Right.
Goes to Double-A. He's hitting over 400.
Right.
I mean, could you explain, please?
Well, no, I can't explain that. I mean, honestly, we believe, I mean, Andrew Knapp was our best hitter, arguably, in spring training, instruction league. I mean, we've always liked this guy's bat. People don't understand his time in Clearwater. We were killing him with defensive work. You know, a good part of our focus with him all year has been his defense,
right.
Trying to make him as good a defensive catcher as we can. And Coy Hill is on that staff down there, and he was grinding him, and I think he probably had an effect. But no, I didn't think he'd be hitting 400 at this point in time. But this kid can hit. I mean, he's really, we like his swing from both sides of the plate.
With power too.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a good piece for us.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, and it's good too that he's doing it now, because obviously there's confidence that's building for him,
right.
Whether it be, you know, if he takes another step this year or if he goes into the offseason based on what he's done at Double-A.
Absolutely. I really think, and again, the more I do this, I've obviously the last 4 years watched a lot of minor league baseball, but I was in Clearwater the last 5 nights, guys, and it's a 21-inch plate most of the nights. And you go to Double-A and it shrinks more toward the 17, 18, 19 on a bad night. It's just easier to hit, I believe, if you're a hitter as you get higher. And, I mean, I sat and watched the last 5 nights, and, oh, man, we got to, you know, it's tough. It's tough on these guys. So yeah, he's done well.
Ground ball to shortstop. Joe, we've talked about one player in 1/2 inning, so we're going to keep you for another half inning.
That'll be great. That'll be fine.
We'll go to the top of the 3rd with the Phillies on top 3-0. And look how successful they have been so far here in 2015 as the seasons are winding down, led by the Reading Fightins, who are 71-51. The Gulf Coast League team 30-18, and the Threshers are 32-20. Joe, you said you were just down in Clearwater. I know there's some pitching down there. Lee
Right.
Brand kid and a couple others. I mean, how do those kids look?
Well, Brandon's on the DL right now. He's had a little shoulder flare up, and so we basically shut him down for the rest of the year. Ricardo Pinto is the guy that's leading that rotation right now. Venezuelan kid that I like him as much as any starting pitcher we have in our system. But, you know, they have others. I mean, Mark Leiter is a kid that we've had for a couple of years, is very accomplished, and he's going tonight for them. You know, we've got some position players there, too. Hoskins is really swinging about well. Was an all-star in the Sally League the first half. Saw him hit a couple long home runs and saw him with 2 strikes go the opposite gap with some breaking balls away from him. So he looks like a hitter.
Is he strictly a first baseman? Oh, what a play by Adam Morgan.
Heads up play.
The flip by Ruff and the tag by Adam Morgan. And Ben Revere is retired. 3-1 on the putout. That was a heck of a play, Joe.
Absolutely. It's like the play last night at second base. I can't remember the game it was in, where the pitcher made a swipe tag.
Well, right there, he knew he was going to beat him to the bag. I don't think Ben Revere touched first base.
I think Adam may have pushed him off the line, maybe on the side.
Yeah, that's a great job.
Nice play. So, talking about minor leagues, Morgan, Nola. Are you seeing what you expected when you saw this year during the season down there?
Well, listen, that's kind of why we do what we do. Right. And we just try to get them as ready as we can. Sometimes they're up here before you want to because of need, but the guys that are out on the field right now, I think that have come through our system, they need to be here. This is really where they need to be at this point in time. So it's exciting for me and for all my staff.
I would think it's special, as this one is fouled down the right field line. I would think it's special after everything that Adam's been through. The fact that he was winless this year before he came up. The fact he had to battle back from injury. I think it's pretty special to see him out here doing what he's doing. Well,
it is, and I'm just so proud of him. Really, every time that I've got to watch him start, which isn't every start, he pitches with confidence. He throws the ball over the plate, and the result is what it is. But that's kind of who he is. He's a confident guy.
1 ball, 1 strike to Cliff Pennington. Chopper to third, flagged down by Blanco. And there are 2 outs. Well, I know. Obviously, the Hamels trade was a big one this year. How are those guys adjusting to the new organization?
I've seen every one of the players that we acquired in the trades, and our staff, our scouts, the pro staff, Mike Ondo and his guys. They did a really good job. We have, they're not finished products by any means, but each and every one of them have ability. Big arms. We talked about Williams a little bit. The kid's gotten off to a good start. He's got some ability, but I saw Tirado last night in Clearwater. up to 98 miles an hour like he's playing catch with a breaking ball. So I think they did a good job. All of them are settling in. Listen, Paveda's got as good arm as any of them, the starter in Reading. He needs to learn how to pitch. He's going to have to improve his command. But they've got weapons. You can see why our guys like them.
Really didn't even drop the bat. He's throwing.
Too much pine tar.
Well, Joe, these have been fast half innings, but we do appreciate the update. You guys have had a great year. The Phillies have had a great year in the minor leagues, and we are seeing some of that up here in the big leagues. But thanks for coming on.
There's more coming. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Joe Jordan, our guest up here in the booth. Phillies lead at 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW or visit Jefferson.edu. Our man Gus has the lightsaber on Star Wars night. He's ready to go. Looks like he's had a little Italian ice, too, some water ice. The lightsaber's now been put away.
Game time.
Andres Blanco will take inside. It's 1-0. Well, Gus's mom, Lori, knows the rules. You can't have a lightsaber out in the middle of play. Dangerous. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blanco singled and scored his first time up. Loops that one down the right field line. It'll slice out of play. Today's Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Joan Cordner of Mount Ephraim. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Joan will win $100. Chopper foul. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for Mark Burley. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag PhillyPhoto.strongFan and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. First strikeout for Burley. Odubel Herrera singled and scored his first time up. Shows bunt, takes strike 1. I wanted to ask Russell Martin what he thought of Odubel Herrera, because in the games that we've seen between the Phillies and the Blue Jays, Odubel's gotten some looks. Or Phillies and anybody. Odubel's got some looks from some veteran catchers. A.J. Przinsky for one with the Atlanta Braves. Because he does play with an extra energy. He shoots this one in the air to straightaway center field. Pilar going back toward the fence, reaches up, and he makes the catch. It wasn't going out, but it would have been an extra base hit. And there are 2 outs. That ball really carried.
Well, the ball carried quite a ways, and I think Pilar kind of got fooled on how well the ball carried. I mean, he clips it pretty good. He even gave the little Sammy Sosa a little hop, but I think it surprised Pilar, because usually he runs to the spot. He kind of coasted with that ball right there.
Brett Court takes a strike, 0-1.
I don't think Frenchie was looking heater there.
Out to left field. Ben Revere on the track to the wall. Will it carry? It will. It's gone. A home run for Jeff Francoeur. It's 4-0 Phillies. He's homered it back-to-back nights. And it's his 5th home run in his last 9 games. Joan Cordner of Mount Ephraim's just won $100 thanks to Jeff Francoeur and the McDonald's home run jackpot.
I mean, it's a good pitch. He threw it where he wanted it. Look at that, right into the Canadian flag after the deflection.
Darren Ruff swings at the first pitch. Martin will give it a look. I didn't think it was going out. 12 home runs for Francoeur, 38 RBIs with his 2 tonight. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now it's hit sharply through the right side. Second hit of the night for Darren Ruff. Ball kind of scooted along the grass. And here's Aaron Altair.
So we're seeing some good at-bats tonight. Pitches inside, turning on the fastball. Backdoor curveball. That was actually a pretty good pitch as well. Two-seamer away from Darren. But Darren has such a nice compact swing. He can let the ball get deep.
Altair doubled his first time up. It was his first major league hit. And it resulted in his first major league RBI. No balls, one strike to the Phillies left fielder.
He might hit a home run today.
Aaron Altair?
Yes.
What gives you that idea?
He looks very hitterish.
It's that one back toward the middle. Tulowitzki gobbles it up, bobbled it, but then flipped it in time. 6-4 on the putout. Side is retired. Phillies do get another run on the home run by Jeff Francoeur, who just keeps on hitting into the seats over the left field fence. 4-0 Phillies as we go to the fourth. Should it please submit your answer on the subject line. Matt, the question is, who was the first Blue Jay ever with 5 or more multi-home run games in a calendar month? Don't answer yet. Answer will be revealed a little later on. While Matt ponders that, let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, I found my way to section 210 up here, and I am surrounded by Owls. As you guys mentioned, it is Temple night here at Citizens Bank Park, and the head coach of the Temple Owls football team, Matt Rhule, is with us. Good to see you, Coach.
Thank you so much for having me. What a great night. What a great game.
And you've filled these sections because you guys have over 200 students. It's not just the football team that's here, over 200 student athletes.
We have a great squad of great student athletes here at Temple, and it's good to get out, show Temple pride, and join in with the Phillies with a great game.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the football team, because you guys are about halfway through your fall practices, getting ready for this upcoming season. So how are things going so far? 18 returning starters for you guys, so there's a lot of optimism on campus.
We have a veteran team. We'll be out there tomorrow morning at 8:30, banging, hitting. But we have a great group of seniors, a bunch of guys that have won and lost a lot of games. They've been through some wars, and they want to go out and have a great senior season.
It's your third season, and you improved to 6-6 last year after the 2 wins your first season. I would imagine that you're looking this year bowl eligibility and to get into a bowl game this year and take that next step.
Now we will be bowl eligible. We have a great team. As long as the coaches don't mess it up. Now we have a great group of seniors, a great group of juniors. They went through a heartbreak last year, but they're ready to go back to a bowl game. And we want to compete for a conference championship. There's no reason we can't. We have a great home schedule, Penn State, Notre Dame. But we expect to have a really good team and fight to get to a bowl game and have a chance to compete for the conference championship.
Yeah, and if you look at the major publications guys around all around the country, they expect that you guys will compete for that conference championship and probably win it.
Well, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the fact that they recognize what we have here in Philly, what we have here at Temple. And we have a really good group of seniors. But you know what's great? We have a bunch of young players, and a bunch of them are sitting around us that no one knows yet. They're really good football players, really good kids, good students, and we're going to be good for a long time.
I was reading today about the team and the message that you and the coaching staff are really trying to put out there. And you know, it's age-old in sports, but it's so important, and that is, play for one another, right?
Exactly right. I mean, football is a game where you go out there, you have injuries, you get banged up, you have to play through injury, you have to play through heartbreak, you have to play through just being tired. So why do you do that? You do that for one another. So we want our guys to sacrifice for each other, to compete for one another. We go play Penn State, they'll play for themselves, they'll play for each other, and we'll play for each other. And that's what we want. We want our guys to really be Temple Owls through and through.
Yep, Penn State, you mentioned they'll be coming to town early in the season, first game of the season, a little bit later on, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish as well. Obviously, no matter who's out there against you guys, you're going to go out there and try to win that game. But it's got to be exciting to have teams like that coming into the Lincoln Financial.
What a great thing for Philadelphia, for Temple, fans, for Temple students, for Temple, our players, for people that just love football, to have two great teams, Penn State, Notre Dame, to have two conference champions, UCF, Memphis, to have them all come here to Lincoln Financial Field. When I got here in 2006, I never would have dreamed that Temple would have come this far. So I think it's a great thing for our entire program and for Philadelphia to have such good teams come here.
And that one will stay in the yard as well. So 2 outs in this inning. Before I let you go, folks obviously can come down, buy tickets, and come watch you guys play. What's the one thing that fans should look for when they watch the Temple Owls this year playing football?
Well, I think they're going to see a team that's hard-nosed, that's tough, that's competitive. And I'll just say this, and I hope it's okay that I say this, but I know Chase Utley, might not be here anymore. As a Philadelphia Phillies fan, but more importantly, as a father, as someone who's tried to teach my son the right way to do things, I'm so grateful that my son had a chance to see Chase Utley. I'm so grateful for the Philadelphia Phillies organization to have him here so long. And what a great opportunity for people that live in this area to come see great baseball, see great people. And that's why I bring my team here. I want them to see what the game is all about and what sports is all about.
Well, well said, and I know you certainly speak for Philadelphia sports fans all around the city. Matt, good luck this year. We'll be watching and pulling for you to win that conference championship.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, let's send it back to you.
Murph, we appreciate that. Of course, it's always good to see Matt. Matt was here at the ballpark, obviously, with his team. Matt Stairs was here. Jameer Nelson was here with members of the Denver Nuggets. A little team bonding that they have been doing the last few days here in Philadelphia. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Phillies lead it 4-0. Jose Bautista down to the count 0-2. Fly ball left field. Aaron Altair waits for it. And the side is retired. 3 fly ball outs. So far so good for Adam Morgan. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Home fourth inning. Phillies lead at 4-0. They got 3 runs in the first, 1 in the third on a home run by Jeff Francoeur. Freddie Galvis, Cameron Rupp, Adam Morgan against Mark Burley. And Galvis pulls it foul, and it's 0-1. Freddie grounded to shortstop his first time up. Fly ball, shallow right field. Bautista comes running in. And there's one away. Phillies fans, did you know StubHub is personalized just for you? Get the StubHub app today. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Phillies fans. And Phillies.com. Rupp popped out his first time up. And he loops one to center field, and Pilar will play it on a hop. A base hit. 7 hits now for the Phils against Burley, who's allowed 4 earned runs in a game for the first time since the 29th of May. That's how good he's been.
Well, the key is you got 4 off them and 3 pluses to add on. By the way, Adam Morgan's first at bat, he absolutely
outstanding.
That was unbelievable play.
Yeah. We were chatting at the time.
Yes.
Pennington made a wonderful play to rob him of a hit. He bunts at it, and it's 0-2. Little indecisive what he wanted to do there, it looked like. By the way, the one guy we didn't talk to Joe Jordan about on the air, but we talked to him off the air, was Cornelius Randolph, Phil's #1 pick. He said he's been outstanding in the Gulf Coast League so far. Said his swing has been good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's a strike 3 called. 2 outs. Top of the order, Cesar Hernandez is coming up. It's time now for our Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And Mark Burley has the lowest average fastball velocity in baseball. I'm surprised by Fister. Although I have to say I'm surprised by 3 or 4 of the guys that are on that list. Cologne, but I guess he mixes it up so much.
Colby Lewis is the one that has caught me off. I thought he used to throw a lot harder, didn't he?
I think he did.
Back with Texas?
Yeah. Cesar's 0 for 2. He's lined out and he's grounded out. It's that one back off the mound, a spinner. And Pennington will take it right to the second base bag. Side is retired after the fielder's choice. No runs. 1 hit by Cameron Rupp. And 1 man left on base. Middle of the or top of the 5th is Pontus. 4-0 Phillies. Shipping labels ensure all your shipping messages get noticed. Perfect for any priority message. And WB Mason delivers the same day when your order is placed by 11:30 a.m. Local service, personalized. Who but WB Mason? Top of the 5th inning, Star Wars night here at Citizens Bank Park. Star Wars characters, both young and old, roaming the ballpark. Here's Edwin Encarnacion, who fly to right field his first time up. And it's a strike, 0-1. I have to think he's shaking his head more out of frustration for himself than anything else.
I would agree.
Well, that was a decent pitch right there. Now that one he said was down.
I think the proper term is abajo.
Still close.
Yes.
Up and away, 1-2. Did you find yourself at any time, did you feel like you chirped too much to the umpire? Like, did you have...
Me?
I know you never really said a whole lot.
Never said a word. Never. Well, maybe a couple times, but...
Because I would think it's like anything else. Sometimes it snowballs. You know, you complain about one pitch, so then you complain about another one, and then later on in the game you complain about another one.
Yeah, the only thing I would ever ask is, you know, up and down, is that as low as you're going? Is that as high as you're going? You know, is that the length you're going outside or whatever? But there's so many different ways you can talk to an umpire. Just put your head down.
Fly ball, left center field. That's well hit, and that one may not come back. It's not. 16-game hitting streak for Encarnacion. He's homered in back-to-back games, and it's now a 4-1 ball game. 23 home runs for Encarnacion. Well, whoever it was that threw that ball back really threw it well.
Change up middle of the plate. Encarnacion knew that he got it.
Nice catch by that fella out there. Russell Martin's now the batter. 3-run lead for the Phillies. Martin asked for a little extra time. Line drive, base hit to left field. Martin will hold up at first. And Pilar's coming up. Monday, August 24th, this Monday, it'll be country music night here at Citizens Bank Park. The country music bands all around the yard, plus a lot of other activities. Order tickets now at phillies.com/country and be one of the first 2,000 fans to receive the exclusive Phillies camo snapback hat. Again, go to phillies.com/country. Take advantage of that. Here's Pilar, who popped out to Cesar his first time up into foul territory. Inside, 1-0.
I like what Cameron did. He went out and just slowed it down a little bit, give Adam a little breather. And we talked about yesterday how Toronto can score in bunches. Try to get him under the rhythm, slow him down a little bit as hitters.
Sort of reprogram yourself too.
Right. You know, we just battled with Encarnacion, had a home run, and then Russell Martin ambushed the first swing and hit a line drive to left field. So back off a little bit. You've been on a roll so far, but don't overthink though. Game plan's been very good tonight.
one heck of a 1-6-3 double play right there. Adam Morgan relied on the athleticism of Freddie Galvis, and he just fired to second base. It's not always easy for a pitcher to make this play work.
No, it's not. And the key is as a pitcher, you want to lead. You almost took it. Russell almost took that right in the helmet. But you want to lead your shortstop. So you don't want to throw it behind him. You throw it a little bit into it. So he's running into it. And all the momentum's going towards first base. And that was a very nice 1-6-3 double play.
How about how hard he fired it to Galvis? Ben Revere grounded out his first time up. Takes inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. That was a slider from Morgan. Really had cutter action to it.
Let's see.
In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Revere. Revere hit .298 with the Phillies this year. Had 109 hits. He has 11 hits so far for the Blue Jays, who have the right-hander Sanchez warming up in the bullpen. Excuse me, Schultz now warming up in the bullpen.
That's good.
1 ball, 1 strike. Off the hands, foul.
All right. Okay, no problem.
Speaking of Ben Revere, the former Phil, on his adjustments to Toronto, I've been hitting the ball well, getting good at bats, facing new pitchers and everything, but it's going to be tougher now. We've got another month and a half left in the season. Eventually those hits are going to start coming like I was doing over here in Philly.
That's the circle of trust. That's it.
He has not hit his stride just yet. I thought he'd be good on the turf, but the turf is a little slower up in Toronto. He has a lot of those infield hits, those balls toward the middle that he beats out, or even toward the hole at shortstop. One-two pitch to Revere, and there's a loop route to center field that'll drop for a hit. Third hit of the inning for the Blue Jays, and will bring Pennington to the plate. Well, earlier today, the Arizona Fall League announced its new inductees into this year's Hall of Fame class, and 2 good ones, Chase Utley and Andrew McCutchen. Utley, of course, has been a 6-time All-Star, while McCutchen's been a 5-time All-Star. One played in the Arizona Fall League in 2002, the other in 2007. Both certainly worthy of anybody's Hall of Fame. Out of play over the first base dugout. For those who don't know what the Arizona Fall League is, the coaching staffs for each have been announced. Now, what it is basically what it sounds like. Some of the prospects that each team has, 4 or 5 of those prospects will go and play for a specific team in the Arizona Fall League. Those prospects will join with 3 other or 4 other teams' prospects to form one team. They will face off throughout the fall.
So in other words, it's the Arizona Fall Prospect League.
Yeah, I think, for the most part, I mean, sometimes there aren't prospects in there.
Right, but isn't there a certain age you can't be over a certain age to play in it?
That's a good question. I don't know. That would make sense, I would think.
I always went to we had a different level for mine. It's called the Suspect League.
In the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Little low, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That may be it for Burley, because Calabello is out in the on-deck circle. Out toward right center field. Francoeur on the run. He won't get it. It's over his head off the base of the wall. Revere's already at third base. He's heading home. Hernandez's throw to the plate is not in time. It's a 4-2 ball game. RBI double for Pennington. Only his second hit as a member of the Blue Jays. His first extra base hit. And now Colabello will bat here in the top of the 5th inning as a pinch hitter.
Just one.
Cameron set up away. Fastball is away. It was just up. That's what we were talking about earlier. Was when you're throwing fastballs down in the zone, you can get away with it. Ben's coming around from first base, scoring easily. I mean, Frenchie played that ball off the wall very nice. Hit Caesar at second base. But that's why it's so important, that down and away fastball. You can't elevate a down and away fastball. Once it gets up, that's what happens.
Well, Bob McClure out to the mound. A little chit chat with Adam Morgan and the rest of the guys. Pete McCann was talking about last night's game. He said, listen, we scored enough runs to win that ball game. He said, we have to win a game when we score 5 runs. Now, tonight they've scored 4. Some might say that they've scored enough, but as you said, Matt, you got to add on. Particularly against this team because they have the potency offensively.
Very surprised that he's done right now, the 5th inning.
If it was an American League and against American League team against American League team, you think he'd be out?
Oh, no chance. No chance.
Colabello had a pinch hit, base hit last night.
But the Jays do have a day off tomorrow as well.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. Well, that's perfect location for that changeup from Morgan.
That ball had some good movement.
This changeup as a whole has had good movement tonight, hasn't it?
It has.
He got to 2 strikes against Pennington, couldn't put him away. And now he's trying to put away Colabello with a runner at second base. Outside corner, strike 3 called. 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Morgan, and that'll do it for the Jays here at the top of the 5th inning. They do get 2 back thanks to 4 base hits. They leave 1. Adam Morgan, right spot on this one. See his reaction after he pounds the edge with that fastball. Plus, hear what medical experts have to say about Sam Bradford and Joel Embiid. Start your day with Breakfast on Broad tomorrow morning over on the Comcast Network. Sam Hinkle is scheduled to call in Breakfast on Broad tomorrow. Give you an update on what's going on with the 76ers. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Phillies lead it 4-2. And Bo Schultz will check in for Mark Burley, who goes only 4 innings here tonight. John Gibbons not fooling around. 4 innings, he allowed 7 hits and 4 runs. All 4 runs were earned. Schultz 0-1, a 2.18 ERA. There's John Gibbons in his second go around as the skipper of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, Schultz, scouting report, like everyone else. Good fastball, 97. Changeup, slider, and a cut fastball.
First pitch to Blanco. Fastball in there at 96 miles an hour, and that catches the outside edge of the plate on the fast pitch gun. Brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a cutter.
Yeah, cutter 4 miles an hour less. Blanco tonight is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. He struck out his last time up against Burley. Batting left-handed for the first time this evening. There was the cutter again, and it's 2-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Mets lead the Orioles 2-0. Daniel Murphy solo home run in the first inning. Mets have added a second run. Washington plays later on in Colorado.
Remember what I said about 94, 97?
Yeah.
Mark it 99.
Well, it's hot. The ball's carrying a little bit more today.
Good point. Must be the altitude. I like that little Xfinity track pitch.
Yeah. Gets your attention, doesn't it?
That it does.
So does that. Liner down the right field line. Does it have enough? It is gone! Out of the ballpark for Andres Blanco. Phillies get one back on top 5-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Watch how he tucks his hands and pulls them tight into his body. Keep that back elbow tight. That's a 91-mile-an-hour cutter that he turned on. Line drive home run. This is pretty swing right here. Foot down early. Hips do not open too early. Makes that contact and then explodes.
Well, the Phillies extra men really have done a heck of a job this year. Blanco, Francoeur, I mean, you name it. Those guys basically coming off the bench, playing every once in a while. The two of them have combined for 17 home runs. One ball, 1 strike. Francoeur has hit 5 home runs in his last 9 games. Blanco has hit 3 home runs in his last 4 games. One and 2. Cutter on the outside corner.
The dreaded backup cutter.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Odubel. been all this talk this year about some of the pronunciations of the Phillies players' names. You know, yesterday during the press conference, Ruben was calling Odubel Odubel, and you know, Ruben always has those names perfect, the Spanish names perfect, and you know, whether it be Franco or Franco, Galvis or Galvis. So we saw Scott Fransky and I saw Odubel, and we said, all right, is it Odubel or is it Odubel? And he just started laughing as he takes ball 4 with a clap, and he said it is Odubel. Odubel. So he's aboard with a walk. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD at over 400 mobile and connected devices. With MLB.TV Premium, real-time highlights like that one, live look-ins. I'm sure somebody was peeking in at that. Pitch tracking widget and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. There's Jeff Francoeur, who homered his last time up. Francoeur with 12 homers, 38 runs batted in. His 12th came earlier. Had a sac fly in the first inning. On the outside corner, it's 0-1. Here's that home run.
Fastball inside. I think he hit as high as he did far. Ball just kept on carrying for his 12th home run of the year.
I'll tell you, looking at that replay, he did get it better than I thought he did. I still didn't think it was going to carry out of the yard. 0-2.
Plus, we haven't had the wind shift blowing out the left field too often this year. That might have helped out a little bit.
There goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Martin's throw to second base is. Ooh, he missed him. Herrera somehow got his hand in. The throw looked like it got there in time. Pennington, though, was in front of the bag, so he had to reach back to apply the tag. Tulowitzki signaled that he may have gotten him. So the Blue Jays will take a peek at it. Cannot tell whether he got his arm or not there. Maybe tell here. Cannot tell whether he got his arm or not. He was too far in front of the bag. Can't.
Looked like he got his shirt.
He may have gotten his shirt there. But they've decided not to challenge it.
It's a good slide because it's on the backside of the play of second base.
Yeah. Well, Francoeur struck out on that pitch. So here's Ruff, who's 2 for 2. And he hits that one back toward the middle. That ball was spinning every which way. 6-3 on the putout. Herrera goes to third. And here's Altair. Altair was pretty consistent down in the minor leagues this year. He hit 293 in Double-A, 294 in Triple-A. He had 8 home runs in one spot, 6 home runs in another spot. No balls, 1 strike. Ruben was talking yesterday about how well he played in winter ball, and that was an indication that he was getting better and could possibly challenge for a spot this year. He hit 286 in winter ball with 4 home runs and 27 runs batted in. That's pretty good in Venezuela. In the air to left field. Going back on it is Revere. Matt, you're a prophet. It's gone. A 2-run home run. Aaron Altair, his first big league home run. A 2-run shot, and the Phillies lead 7-2.
Sometimes you can just read a player on how he takes, how his swings, how his swing and misses are. Congratulations. Basically like his double. Loud, good contact, a nice short swing.
Well, it was in his last at bat in the third inning when he grounded out. You said, I think he's going to hit a home run tonight. And his swings have been aggressive and comfortable. And there you go. His first major league home run on the same night he got his first major league hit. And he's given the Phillies a 7-2 lead. And there goes the first major league home run.
If there's a certain word for a guy that swings about well and he looks comfortable, it's a smooth swing. You know, you get choppy swings at time when your timing is off, but everything he's doing today is just nice and smooth. You know, you're going through the, you know, it's almost like you're going through the motions, like, oh, ho, hum, here we go. Hands are going back, leg up, fill the head, boom, home run. Line drive to second field. That's just the feeling I had watching him today.
Outside, 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Galvis draws a walk with 2 men down. This is a guy who came in with an earned run average of just barely over 2, with some good stuff, and the Phils have been able to tack on 3 runs here in the 5th.
Keep adding on now. Don't relax. I will say this game was flying. When we started the 5th inning, we weren't even at 8 o'clock yet.
Rupp is 1 for 2. There's a base hit. Oh, wow. A one-hop snag by Tulowitzki. Man, did I speak way too soon. 6-3 on the putout. Wonderful play by the Gold Glover Troy Tulowitzki. But the Phillies got 3 in the inning. A 2-run home run by Altair and a home run by Andres Blanco. And stepped into wherever the Phillies have needed him this season. Shortstop, second base, or third. He has been solid with his defense all over the diamond. His bat has been even better. When Chase went to the DL, Cesar went into action and has been one of the most consistent hitters on the team. Batting .324 in the month of June alone. Hernandez has shined in a career-best 100-plus games. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, it is Star Wars night. And even though he's a villain, folks like to see Darth Vader.
Just be careful of the mind trick.
Fanatic was out shooting hot dogs. Hatfield, Philly Franks. And he had a bunch of Star Wars characters who had walked out as well. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Phillies lead it 7-2. Here's Troy Tulowitzki, who is 1 for 2 tonight. Adam Morgan begins the 6th inning with 63 pitches. Popped up. Darren Ruff will head into foul territory and makes the catch. Ball was hit a mile high. Well, it's time now for the Jeep Stuff the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, Matt, here we go. Who was the first Blue Jay ever with 5 or more multi-home run games in a calendar month?
Well, I had it broke down to 2 guys. I had Jesse Barfield.
Good hitter.
And Batista. So since we are playing the Blue Jays now and he's here, I'll say Batista.
Jose Bautista is a great guess. It is incorrect.
Okay, just wait.
Okay.
Is it Barfield?
No, it's not Barfield. Edwin Encarnacion. It had to me, it had to be one of these guys.
I just thought it might have been Batista the year he hit 50.
Donaldson tonight is 0 for 2. He's flied to left. He's flied to center. Ground ball 0-2. There's Encarnacion, who's hit one tonight. No balls, 2 strikes.
Pitch. You know, even though it's a big swing and the ball goes straight back, if he hits that ball fair, he breaks his bat. A lot of those times people think, oh, right on it. If you look at the trademark and lower, that's where the ball mark is.
Adam Morgan, his last outing, went 6 innings, allowed 3 hits and 3 earned runs. He wound up losing that game 3-1. Well, he's been given 7 runs of support here tonight. Did not get Donaldson to go fishing on that one. It's 2-2.
I'd love to see is what the fly ball ground ball ratio is for the Blue Jays on the year. They hit a ton of fly balls.
Yeah, I would. It's got to be way up there, particularly for the first 5 hitters in the lineup.
Yeah.
Strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. It didn't look like a bad pitch. It was a curveball. I don't know if it was too high in Donaldson's mind. I don't think it was outside. But it was called a strike, and they're 2 away.
Well, first of all, watch how fooled he gets. He goes at it so hard that he loses the strike zone view as himself because his whole backside is out front and collapsed. So really, he didn't follow that ball all the way into the zone to see if it was a strike or a ball.
You saw that side shot. It wasn't high.
No, it wasn't high.
Here's Bautista, and Bautista pops it up straight up behind the mound, between the mound and second base. Side is retired in order. An easy 6th inning for Adam Morgan. He's done a heck of a job tonight against these Toronto Blue Jays. He threw just 8 pitches in that inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies lead it by 5. dealer at ChevyDealer.com. And by McDonald's. Double the love it at McDonald's with a double cheeseburger and small fry for just $2.50. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Bottom of the 6th inning. Poor Frank. Well, at least he's protected.
Think he's telling some jokes in there?
Hey, Han. So I
There
heard
he is.
this.
Well, look how big he is.
Oh, he is.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca's tall. Yeah, Chewbacca's big. Adam Morgan takes outside 1-0. You wonder if he'd be able to fit in the Millennium Falcon at that height. That's his ship, Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Outside, and it's 2-0. Schultz in his 2nd inning. Two balls, no strikes. Morgan's 0 for 2. Adam may sit there and take another pitch here. We'll see. Ben Revere ventures back in left. With 1 out, Cesar Hernandez coming up. Let's check in with Murph. Murph?
All right, guys. Well, thank you. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. And today's photo comes from @LadyCruck. She says, these young Phillies fans are having some fun at the game cheering on their Phils. And remember, if you tweet your strongest fan photo to #PhillyPhoto Data Strong Fan, you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. Guys?
All right, we've seen some great photos that have been coming in over the last several weeks. Look forward to some more. No balls, 1 strike to Cesar Hernandez. He's 0 for 3. He's lined out, grounded out twice. Ben Revere again in left field. He's under it. And a couple outs here in the 6th will bring Andres Blanco to the plate. Blanco has scored twice, once on a home run his last time up, the other one on a sac fly. That was back in the 1st. He's hitting over 300 as a starter this year. Making the start tonight at 3rd base.
Can't be hitting probably about 290 as a pinch hitter now off the bench.
He's been a great pinch hitter for the Phillies.
Or I should say as a non-starter. 5th inning, 3 balls, 2 strikes, cutter. Nice sweet swing, short swing, line drive. Oh, sorry. By the way, I don't think that high 10 between Frenchie and Whitey, we're supposed to go that way.
I don't think so either.
Chin music right there. Now here was a hitter, you're just praying he throws one in there so I can hit another home run.
It was a breaking ball, and Blanco is struck out. And the Phillies are retired. A little stare from Schultz to Blanco as the inning wraps up. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils, and we'll go to the 7th.
might hit a home run today.
Matt, you're a prophet. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. Yeah, Aaron Altair, 2 hits tonight. His first 2 big league hits, a double and a 2-run home run, 3 RBIs. Adam Morgan, though, has been outstanding against this Blue Jays lineup. So far, 6 innings. He's allowed a home run to Edwin Encarnacion. Phillies sent Mark Burley to the showers after 4. There's Altair, who is going to play every day, whether it be in left field, center field, or right field. Encarnacion takes up and away, 1-0. Phillies do have bullpen action as we start the 7th inning. They have a lefty and a righty, Araujo and Genmar Gomez. Two balls, no strikes. The high on the year for Morgan is 7 innings. That was against the Atlanta Braves. Two and 1. That'll be long, but foul into the Ashburn suite down the left field line. Those folks came to the ballpark expecting some good food, and they also got a baseball. Liam Hendricks warming up in the pen. He went around. A strikeout of Encarnacion. 3rd strikeout of the night for Adam Morgan. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizen 7. They were to a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. And that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank. What the? Yoda. 0-1 as Martin fouls it back over the screen. Good percentage. 18 first pitch strikes for Adam Morgan. Fly ball right field.
Well, and what's nice to see is that that was a changeup. You got Martin out in front a little bit with the pitch prior to it. 91 miles an hour still. So the velocity's been staying the same, going up a little bit throughout the night.
Well, there you see the 2 starts against the Blue Jays. This one obviously a little longer than the last. His 4-seam fastball, as Matt mentioned, has topped off at 91. And Pilar gets fooled on the first pitch slider, and it's 0-1. He's popped out and he's grounded into a double play. That double play was huge in the 5th inning because he had allowed a home run and then a single to start the inning, and then got the double play. .82 pitches now for Adam Morgan. Well, why is that a big deal? Because he's only been out of the 80s once in 9 starts. That was when he threw 98 pitches in 1 start. Everything else has been in the 70s or in the 80s. But he's still only at 82 pitches. And we have 2 outs here in the 7th. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Francoeur says he has it. He puts it away. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. 7 in a row retired by Adam Morgan. 7 wonderful innings by the Phillies left-hander as we stretch. To build on that as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Headed into extra innings and need a boost? Call WB Mason and order Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup pods. Great tasting coffee at amazingly low prices, delivered free the very same day when you order by 11:30 a.m. WB Mason knocks it out of the park. Who but WB Mason? Pete McCannon shakes the hand of Adam Morgan, tells him nice job, and it was a great job. He's done after 7, it looks like. And onto the bullpen it looks, which is fine. Phillies up by 5. He probably could go another inning, but they've decided, it looks like, that he has reached his limit of 7 innings. Dougal fouls it back. It's 0-1. A lot of talk about tonight. A lot of good to talk about from Adam Morgan. I don't know if this formula that he used tonight could work against every team, but I think it can. Particularly if his fastball, if he spots it at 91.
Spots a good fastball. Had a good tempo. Good changeup.
1 ball, 1 strike.
He even snuck in the big old curveball. That struck out Donaldson. You only thought it was curveball 2% of the time. That was a very good curveball to strike him out with.
Now, did he throw a curveball to Encarnacion too to strike him out? Was that
Slider.
a slider? Okay. Odubel lets the home plate umpire know that the pitch was down. 2-1. Rod Nichols is handing the baseball to Luis Garcia, who starts to warm up. Line drive, base hit up the middle for Odubel. He scorched it. So Herrera's been on base now 3 times. He is 2 for 3. So leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Brought to you by St. Joseph's University. And the Mets are starting to look towards the postseason. Terry Collins, their manager, saying today that it's possible that they will skip Matt Harvey's next start, which was supposed to be on Saturday, but they're saying that they may skip him now to give him a little bit extra rest as they head towards a postseason berth. At least that's what they're hoping. They've talked about doing with all their young arms, and it may happen for all these guys, but the first one may be Matt Harvey this weekend. And guys, we saw Ryan Braun's 251st home run when the Phillies were in Milwaukee. It was a grand slam, and it tied him atop their franchise for most home runs in their franchise history with Robin Yount. Well, today he hit another one, number 252. So now he is tops in Milwaukee's franchise history in home runs. He passes Robin Yount, so he is at the top of the list. A solo shot, and they needed it. They won 8-7 today over the Marlins. So congratulations to Ryan Braun, guys.
Yeah, 252 career home runs. 0-1 pitch to Francoeur. It's 0-2. You know, the Mets part of it, it's somewhat presumptuous, isn't it, that they're preparing for the postseason?
Well, let's just get there first.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. We'll get closer. Once we clinch, then we'll figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, but they do have a lot of arms, though. So,
they do.
You know, they have that luxury where it may not affect them all that much. Maybe not as much as other teams.
How about DeGrom and what he's done? His earned run average is under 2. After his Rookie of the Year season last year. They do have some arms. You're right about that, Murph. 1 out. Darren Ruff's coming up. Ruff is 2 for 3 tonight.
But no, I don't want to leave this alone, because you talk about you're going to start sitting guys and resting guys. This is usually the time you don't even want to talk about the playoffs.
I would agree with you on that.
You know, just keep the lid shut until we are going to clinch, and then we decide what we're going to do. Because you can go ahead and back guys off without saying stuff. That's just a kiss of death right there.
Outside, 1-1 to Darren Ruff. Darren Ruff playing first base tonight. Phillies will head to Miami to take on the Marlins, where they will again see some left-handers. Brad Hand tomorrow, and then a lefty on Saturday and Sunday. So he may get some extra time at first base.
Yeah, it's good for a few guys, and it might not be so good for a couple other guys.
Out front of a breaking ball, and it remains 1-2.
So you're talking about DeGrom's numbers. He's 12-6 with a 1.98 ERA. 154 innings pitched, 108 hits. That's it.
That's some pretty darn good scouting right there to find him. Down the right field line. And out of play. It remains 1-2. Into one of the suites aggressively. And Ruff strikes out, and Odubel just gets back to first. So 2 outs here in the 7th. Calling all K through 5th grade students, the Phillies and the Ryan Howard Big Peace Foundation invite you to the ultimate back-to-school read-along event taking place at Citizens Bank Park on Saturday, October 3rd. Join Ryan and Crystal Howard as they make their book series Little Rhino come alive during a pregame read-along event. Visit Phillies.com/readalong for more information. Here's Altair. What do you think he's going to do here, Matt?
No, I'm not going to the well too many times.
Got to pick your spots.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. That ball was smoked into the crowd. I think it hit a gentleman in the arm.
Fanatic left the top of the dugout.
I would too if I'm him. He's hiding behind an usher. Watches that breaking ball go down low. 2-1. I think the Stormtroopers are going to be part of his act during the 7th inning dance. Two balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is inside, ball 4. Close pitch, and Altair takes it, and he's on base for the 3rd time.
First big league walk.
Check him off. Keep checking him off.
Gonna fill the columns.
Freddie Galvis tonight is 0 for 2. Walked his last time. Popped it up, and Donaldson may have a play on this one, and he does. Side is retired, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. We'll head to the 8th inning. The Phillies on top by 5, and they'll head to the bullpen. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Well, the Fanatic could not get Darth Vader or the Stormtroopers to do the YMCA, so he decided to find some young Darth Vaders and Stormtroopers to help him out. Top of the 8th inning, and the Phillies go to Luis Garcia. Garcia, 53rd game, 3-4, 3.35 earned run average. And he will face Ben Revere to start things off. Well, what a night for Adam Morgan. 7 innings and 5 hits. He allowed 2 earned runs. He didn't walk anybody. Not that he walks a lot of guys anyway. Want to know? Toyota Major League Scoreboard, an update from Baltimore. The Mets and the Orioles are tied at 3. That game's in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jonathan Scope, a 2-run home run to tie it up. .3-0 pitch coming to Revere. Then walked twice in last night's game. And there's ball 4. So Revere is aboard for the 2nd time tonight. And that'll bring Cliff Pennington to the plate. All right, it's time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. And this was a dandy against Ben Revere.
This was way back early in the game. Darren does a nice job. Nice flip right there. A very heads-up play by Morgan by tagging Ben Revere before he touches first base. Heads-up play. I wish more players and more pitchers would do that. And that is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Pennington tonight is an RBI double, and he takes inside 1-0. Well, Luis is having a little trouble with his command here in this 8th inning. Cannot leave the door open for this team.
Thank you.
May have swung at ball 2.
Absolutely. Which is surprising. I mean, that's where you walk Bannon and all of a sudden first pitch ball. And now should be 3 balls, no strikes. Seems like every ball that Garcia's throwing right now is cutting.
Might as well just keep throwing fastballs then if they're going to cut like that. It's 3-2. Revere's at first. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Phil's lead it by 5. And it remains 3-2. Back-to-back walks. That's not a good way to start the top of the 8th inning.
That'll get the bullpen stirring.
Yeah. And now Justin Smoke will pinch hit for the Blue Jays. He's got pop. Jean-Marc Gomez warming up in the pen. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, that was a very slow walk by Bob McClure out to the mound, giving Gomez time to loosen up again. He was warming up earlier. Bob first went to Cameron Rupp with his conversation before he went to Luis Garcia. Pitches, 8 have been out of the strike zone. So now here's Smoke, who has 11 home runs this year. He's pinch hitting for Liam Hendricks, who won an inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Well, I know he needs to find that slider too, but he's got to find the fastball. Just 18 attempts this year as a pinch hitter, but 6 hits in those 18 at bats. Two balls, 1 strike. Chopper towards second. That could be 2. Oh, man. Right past Cesar Hernandez. He peaks. Revere will score. Going to third is Pennington. He'll hold there. It's now a 7-3 ball game. An error second base. No RBI. Cesar picked his head up at the last moment.
Yeah, he tried to come in and get the short hop as well. If he wanted to do it over again, he probably would have stayed back and just made sure of the out at second base. That's a do or die play right there.
Well, now Tulowitzki, who's 1 for 3, singled his first at bat. Phillies play him to pull. Last night he had a base hit to that right side that's wide open right now. Pennington's over at third base and Smokes at first. Broke his bat. Ground ball to third. Blanco comes charging. He throws to second for 1. So they get the runner going to second base. A run does score. It's a 7-4 ball game. An RBI for Tulowitzki. Well, that was a good pitch. And now Donaldson's coming up.
That's a good pitch. It's a good two-seam late running movement. I thought Blanco would have come home in that play.
Do you think he had a play at the plate?
I think he had a play. And the play was in front of him, so he had the decision, one, if he got the ball quick enough or not. But
well, they may think about getting Giles up, and they may think about a 4-out save if Garcia can get it out here. They have Gomez warming up. Donaldson hits it foul. And it's 0-1. This is a good view to let us know.
Yeah, it would have been close. Good choice. Yeah, good choice. knowing that Smoke was running at first.
I think Cesar was surprised that he may have had to play at first base. I know he was getting the out, which is what he needs to do. But Tulowitzki was far from the first base bag when the ball arrived at second. 1 ball, 1 strike to Josh Donaldson, the leader in RBIs and runs scored in the American League. Little dribbler in front of the plate. Garcia's off the mound, fires to first, 2 outs. And here comes Bautista.
It's a good play. And first of all, a very nice pitch down the zone.
Well, he needed it for the second out. Now it's Bautista, who is 0 for 3 in tonight's ball game. Checked his swing on that. Did he go? No, says Ron Culpa. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. And a little closer than you think, even though he was very casual with it. .96-mile-an-hour fastball that's pushed back behind home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bautista. 72 walks. He's 4th in the league in RBIs. With 82. Tulowitzki leads off second. Boy, he really tied him up with that. 97 in on the hands. One ball, 2 strikes. They're rolling through some pitches. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming to Bautista. Swing and a miss. He got him. He went after a slider that tailed toward the outer half of the plate. And Garcia works out of any additional trouble here in the 8th inning. 2-run score. He gets the last 2 hitters. Bautista on a strikeout to wrap up the top of the 8th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Phils on top by 3. Eagles joint practice with the Ravens. Plus, hear from Sam Bradford preparing to play his first preseason game Saturday. Watch Quick Slants presented by Nissan only on Comcast Sportsnet. Home half of the 8th inning. The Phillies lead it 7-4. Cameron Rupp will lead things off. 7 runs on 10 hits for the Phils. Another double-digit hit night for the Phillies. And Mark Lowe will take over on the mound for the Blue Jays. 40th ball game overall for Lowe. 0-2. He delivers down low. 1 ball, no strikes. 97 on that fastball. So he's pretty much fastball slider. Everybody else they have coming out of the bullpen throws a little bit more. He doesn't need to. There's the slider. Drop and drive is what Mark Lowe, his actions are. He sinks and then just drives off that back leg big time.
AKA Kevin Napier.
Yeah. Tim Hudson is also similar to that.
Tim Hudson rides that the back leg a little bit more. But Kevin Napier looked like someone was punching the back of his knee. He was giving out and he was catching himself. They used to call him the blowfish because you get so angry you just start blowing the cheeks out. The more he blew his cheeks out, the more you knew you were going to get him early.
And Rupp is down on strikes. 1 away. Dom Brown will pinch hit. Dominic overall hitting .232 with 4 home runs. Donaldson will give this a look. It'll be out of play. It's 0-2. Dom with 1 hit as a pinch hitter. Trying to add to that total right here. Chase looking on from the dugout. Russell Martin almost caught that twice. Once it popped out of his glove, though, it was a foul ball. Down the right field line. And out of play. Off the end of the bat. Lowe has it. It's a solid play. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And Cesar Hernandez is coming up. Cesar 0 for 4 in tonight's ball game. Playing in his 20th game as a leadoff hitter. Phillies will be off to Miami right after this ball game. 0-1 to Hernandez. Off the end of the bat, out to second base. Pennington's up with it. And that'll do it for the Phils here in the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3. So that means we'll go to the 9th inning. The Phils will try to earn a split with the Blue Jays. Ken Giles will be out of the pen to try to pick up the save. The game. Adam Morgan had such a good night on the mound for the Phils. This was his best outing in a Phillies uniform.
It really was. He seemed like he was very comfortable on the mound today. Had great control of his changeup. I thought he covered the first base very nice. That's why he got the Hyundai defensive play of the game as well. But you know, he's just a guy that he pitched in and out. He pitched up in the zone when he needed to make some quality pitches. Thought today he had a very good changeup. I like the fact that he had a very nice curveball right here. They only throws 2%, but he just mixed in a lot of pitches and kept the big boys off balance, and that's why he's a Chevrolet player of the game.
Phillies hope they can give him a victory, and even if his record at 500, they'll turn the ball over to Ken Giles. Giles, 256, which is a 1.72 ERA. Facing Encarnacion is hitting 256. And he swings at the first pitch, shallow right field. Here comes Francoeur like a freight train. And he makes the catch. One away. The numbers for Giles: 7 saves and 10 opportunities. He's been able to slam the door on each of his saves since taking over for Jonathan Papelbon. Reminder after the ball game, Marlon Anderson will break down tonight's finale of this quick 2-game series between the Phils and the Toronto Blue Jays, only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Postgame Live. Russell Martin is 1 for 3. 1 for his last 16. Takes inside, 1-0. A lot of good things tonight. Adam Morgan, Aaron Altair.
Yep.
His first major league hit, his first major league homer. Off the plate, Blanco will cut off Galvis. He's got time. Oh, he dropped the ball. And Russell Martin will be safe at first. Second error of the game for the Phillies. I don't know if Martin's hurt or what.
Well, he's been having a issue with the hamstrings for a while. It's been about 2.5 weeks now. But Whitey just tried to a little quick on the exchange.
Here's Pilar, who's 0 for 3. Takes a strike. Ruff is holding on Martin. You can't imagine Martin's going anywhere. If he does, Cameron Rupp could probably run it to the bag and get him. .98 on that fastball. It's 0-2. See Pilar say that pitch was down. David Price was shaking his head in the dugout too. He pulls it towards short. Might be two. Galvis to second for one now. Pilar runs too well. So they get the lead runner 6-4. And Pilar is still not happy about the strike two call. And Ron Culpa is now taking up the defense of the home plate umpire. Looked like Ron Culpa said, "You wouldn't talk to me like that, so don't talk to him like that."
What if you just said, "Yeah, I would"?
Yeah. Then he might have got ejected from the game. Ben Revere scored 2 runs tonight for the Blue Jays. Pilar will take off. Nope, he won't. Ground ball to third. Blanco is up with it, throws to first in time, and Revere is retired, and the Phillies have won the ball game 7-4 over the Toronto Blue Jays. Ken Giles closes the game out with a save. Ryan Howard, Chase Utley both watching tonight. You wonder what's on the mind of Chase Utley as he goes out to congratulate his teammates with the Phillies earning the victory and the 2-game split over the Toronto Blue Jays. Tough team to beat. They've earned the season split against the Jays. Our WB Mason deliveries of the game. Aaron Altair, his first major league hit, and then his first major league home run.
Well, it's a very nice day for him. In the first inning, he gets up, gets an off-speed pitch, laces a double down the left field line for an RBI. Swinging the bat pretty good. Then all of a sudden he comes up in the 5th inning. Has a very good at bat, fastball inside, turns on a heater. He gets his first major league home run. So very nice, get your first major league hit, first major league home run, first major league walk, and his first interview will be coming with Greg Murphy at some time. But that's why he's a WB Mason delivery of the game.
A nice reaction too from the fans as Chase Utley walked off the field. The fans realizing that he was there, and Chase with a tip of the cap and a little bit of a wave to the Phillies fans who have stuck around here tonight. 26,000 plus. Could it be the last time? We shall see. It's not the last time we'll see Aaron Altair, and he's down in the field with Murph.
Well, that is for sure. And, let's start with probably a moment you've been dreaming about your entire life here. Your first major league hit. You get that tonight. Just take us through the emotions of that moment.
Just oh, shit.
I think you got to wear it, Aaron. I might have tipped the hand there. I apologize. Yeah. That was your teammate Freddie Galvis, in case you missed that. Take us through the emotions of that first major league hit.
I was waiting for that, my whole life, just to get a feeling to get that first hit. And I did it, and just thank God for this opportunity and to be here, and it was awesome. A great night.
But the one hit wasn't enough. You go in for your second hit, and it happens to be your first major league home run as well. And you smoked it. I mean, it was really no doubt about it off the bat, I thought. So, again, what pitch did you hit, and how did that feel?
It was fastball in. At first I didn't really think I got it at first. It kind of jammed me a little bit. But, I saw Revere going back and saw his back turn. So I was like, oh, maybe I got a chance here. And, got out, and I just thank God for being here, man.
Hey, talk about that. Your teammates before the game were giving you a little bit of a hard time. They were asking all of us what's the longest a guy's gone without getting his first hit, because you were up for a very short period of time last year, and it's been a year you still hadn't had it. Did you give it back to Darren Ruff? Because he was the one that was giving it to you.
I will after this, yeah. I'll definitely let him know about it.
All right, well, go there, enjoy the win, and then enjoy the success tonight that you had, Aaron.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Chase Utley, one of the more popular figures in Philadelphia sports history. Boy, it's been an amazing run for him. It's a nice night for Aaron Altair, and a tip of the cap from the Phillies second baseman to the home faithful.